Welcome to When Life Gets Strange, tips for loving your perfectly imperfect military and everyday life. Let me introduce you to my wife and your host, Maria Strange. We have been married for over 20 years, over 17 years in the Army, and she is the mother to our 6 children, and we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. As a certified life coach, Maria's goal is to help you thrive and love your perfectly imperfect military and everyday life. Are you ready?
Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 16 of When Life Gets Strange. Today we're going to be talking about wherever you go, there you are. So this topic sounds a little bit weird, but what I really want you to understand is that where we are in our thoughts, what we're thinking about, that's where we live. That's where we're at. That's where we're functioning, doing things from. And so I just really want you to think about that. Sometimes as military wives, we tend to put our lives on hold, whether that's on purpose or not, but it's because we think we're waiting for the next thing. And so I just want you to know there isn't any better than where you are currently. Whatever duty station you're at, whether your husband is home or not, you're exactly where you're supposed to be at. And that's the best place for you to be. So I want you to stop waiting to live your life until certain things happen, such as your spouse is home from deployment, the kids go back to school, all the mask mandates are gone in New York State. Most of them are gone. My kids still have to wear them because they're not vaccinated or unvaccinated, but stop waiting for that. Stop waiting until you move to a new duty station or you find your dream job, you lose the weight. Your husband is done with flight school. That for us was a big holding spot in our lives. Or any other training. If your husband's not a pilot, what training are you waiting to be done? Tell your children move out if they're getting older. Tell your husband appreciate you. Short-term things might be when that field exercise ends. My husband has one coming up in a couple of weeks, and my brain wants to be like, it's going to suck. He's not going to be here, this and that. And I'm like, wait, stop. What fun things can I do while he is gone? When you're going on vacation, when you come home for vacation, when summer ends, how many of us say, I'll start when XYZ, I'll start after the holidays, I'll start when the kids go to school, I'll start on Monday. We always tell ourselves that with a diet, right? I'll start on Monday. And then Monday comes, oh, well, I didn't start. So we'll wait till next week. Okay, you guys, you got to stop telling yourselves that you're going to wait to live your life. Stop telling yourself when those things happen, then you can be happy. Then you can be fulfilled because you know what? You can do it now. And it doesn't matter what's going on or where you live, because wherever you go, you take your brain with you. You take all those thoughts. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll be happy when this happens, guess what? When you get there, your brain's going to want to offer you, well, I'll be happy when this happens instead. You take your brain with you. It's always there with us. Like, we can't take it out of our heads, right? It's just there. It's a part of us. So let me give you some examples. If you're waiting to live your life until your husband gets home from deployment, what are you missing out on? What things are you not doing? For me, I was missing out on being present in the moment. Like my kids, we would carve pumpkins or have birthday parties, but I was so busy in my thoughts thinking how much Spencer was missing out that I was missing out on those moments because I wasn't there in my thoughts. I was just checking all the boxes. Christmas, yes, check. Birthdays, check. Carve pumpkins for Halloween, check. Dress up, check. Go trick-or-treating, check. Go to the park, check. And let me tell you, that was not the way to live. And I want you, sweet military wives, to do better than what I did. I want you to be present for all of it. I want you to stop checking those boxes. I want you to choose to live in the moment, because when you do that, you show up for you and for others. You'll show up so much better as the military spouse, as the wife, as the mom, as whatever your hat is that you're wearing. You'll show up so much better when you live in that moment. Now, my husband's last deployment, I totally showed up for me. I showed up for my children. I was present. If we went and did something, I lived that moment. When my children were younger, I was always wishing they were older. And now that my youngest is 10, I find myself wishing that maybe I'd enjoyed some of those moments more. So when I see a mom with the young children, I always try and tell her what a great job she is doing. If the kid's throwing a fit, Mama, you're doing a great job. Look at how fantastic you're handling that your baby throwing a fit. Or your toddler, you got this. Because that child throwing that fit says nothing about that, whether she's a good mom or not. It says nothing about anything, but that this 2-year-old is throwing a temper tantrum because toddlers do that. 4-year-olds do that. Heck, sometimes my 9 and 10-year-old do that. 11-year-old. Sometimes my 19-year-old does it. Sometimes I throw a fit. It means nothing about any of us. So when you see another mom out there struggling or another military spouse just having a rough day, let her know that she's doing a good job, that she can do this. That's just kind of my little side note there. Now, I'm always telling my youngest to stop growing, and she tells me it's not possible. I don't know why that is. I don't know why she doesn't want to stop growing and just stay little and 9 and cute for me forever, but that's really not possible. But I've learned to slow down and to enjoy it and to enjoy whatever stage my children are in and to see how that they're a blessing for me, how they are helping me to be the person that I want to be, learn to be the person I want to be, learn and grow and become a better mom and become a better wife. And that's true when my children were babies and toddlers. And that's true today with my preteens and my teenagers and my young adults off at college. All of them are helping me to be the best mom, to be the best me possible. Sometimes I think my children even help me to become a better wife, right? As I learn to prioritize and to choose what is most important in that moment. Some days I still dream about what it's going to be like when it's just Spencer and I in the house and he's retired and we have more freedoms. Or maybe we have lots of freedoms now. Yesterday we went and watched a play on a Sunday afternoon as a family and we got to hang out and enjoy it. We chose to live that moment. You can too. So I don't want to wait to live my life until all my kids are gone. I want to live my life with them. I want to enjoy watching my boys find their way in a young adulthood. I want to watch my girls grow into the amazing young women that I know they are. And I'm doing my best every day to enjoy all of it. And some days I'm not. Some days I'm like, oh, this is too hard. And I get short-tempered, and that's all okay. Because I'm trying, just like you can. You can work on living and being present every day. I don't want to wait for the future to look back and be like, what if? I've done that enough. And so when I find myself wanting to go, well, what if I had done it this way? I'm like, no, stop. This is what I did. Do I want to learn from it? I love how the Army, my husband, Judah, all the time, they do an after action review. And that we tend to use that type of thing in our family. Okay, how did this go? What did we like? What did we not like? What do we want to do different in the future? We don't beat ourselves up for about the things that went wrong. We just take it and we learn from it. And you can do that too. Be present for all of it. The moments, enjoy them. And enjoy the moments you don't, right? So like you can be present for all of it and not like all of it. You can not like when your child throws a temper tantrum, but you can still be present. You can not like if your teenager comes home late or makes a choice that you don't agree with, but you can still be present. You can still choose how you want to show up and be 100% you in that moment. Now, as military wives and mothers, we believe that we have to make sure that we're always available for our children. A lot of us tend to think we can't do things for ourselves because it might interfere with something that our children want to do, or our spouse is going to be gone and he's not going to be able to help out. It's all going to fall on us. And so we choose not to do things. And that was me. And I really just started feeling quite depressed and was just struggling. And my friend encouraged me to do something for me. And I really wanted to go to school. And so I decided to do it. And I knew it was going to be hard. And Spencer was deployed. And my thoughts were, this is going to be too hard on your kids. You shouldn't do it. But I decided to do it anyways. And part of me going to school 2 days a week, I wasn't going to be home when my children got home from school. And my oldest daughter had to get the younger two off the bus. And I was so worried that I was holding her back, that she wasn't going to have time to do her homework or to get to socialize or to do the things that she wanted. But guess what? It worked out. And her and I talked about it. And you know what she told me? She learned how capable she was. She learned that she didn't need me to do everything, that she could do things, that she could help out. So my putting myself first not only helped me to feel accomplished with doing my schooling, but it also helped her to grow. And it helped my younger kids to grow and the boys to grow. So when you learn to do things for yourself, you end up showing up better for everybody around you, and you grow, and it gives others the opportunity to grow, and you're able to be more present. Like me going to school and doing things for myself allowed me to be totally present when I was with my kids, and I felt like I had more to give. So try it out. Do something for yourself. Let me know how it goes. The next scenario that I kind of want to talk about is losing weight. As you guys know, if you've been listening to my podcast, I'm working on losing weight. How many of us don't enjoy life to the fullest because we're not at our ideal weight? Do we not go swimming? Wear the swimsuit. Go swimming with your kids. They are going to remember that way more than what you may weighed. Are you not getting in pictures? I know for me, that one kind of took me by surprise. I thought of myself as a person who took pictures because I'm taking pictures. I'm putting them on social media. I'm sharing myself with you guys, right? But my friend told me the other day that the only pictures her and I have is when she takes them, that I don't initiate it at all. And we did this fun summer garden party a few weeks ago, a month ago now, I don't know. But anyways, I was going through the pictures of it, and yeah, I was in the big group picture and I was in the solo picture that my friend had made me taken, but I wasn't really in the other pictures. I did have a picture with my daughter because she was there, and once again my friend had made us take that, but I wasn't there. I wasn't in these other pictures. And so, am I waiting to live my life until I lose the weight? I wanted to say no, but as I really thought about it, there are times that I do. Do I not want to go kayaking with my husband because maybe I don't want him to see me in a bathing suit? Do I not take my kids, get in the pool with my girls when they ask because I don't want to see myself in a bathing suit? And so just really questioning that. Are you not living your life because you haven't lost the weight? Now back to the pictures. I love pictures. I love looking at them and remembering what was going on. If you could see my office, you'll see I have pictures of different friends from different duty stations and a vacation I did with my sisters when we did a sisters trip. And it's just as girls. I have pictures of my twin brother and I have pictures of me with my children and my husband. And I like looking at them and reliving those moments and just taking them the time to enjoy the life that I've lived, right? And so I want to be a part of those pictures so that my children and friends can look at them and have those memories. Because as military spouses, we tend to move a lot. And so those pictures are a way to help us to keep that connection. Because as I've taught before, connection and our friendships and our relationships is a lot about what we think. It's in our thoughts, right? So as I'm looking at those pictures of my friends and my family, and I'm thinking these great thoughts about them, and I'm reliving memories, that helps me to feel connected. And I want to be connected with others. So are you living your life at each duty station, or are you waiting for the perfect station, the perfect duty station, or the perfect house? When we moved to Fort Drum, we bought our house, one, because we had 3 teenage boys and 3 younger girls, and that we figured it would give us more room, and it totally has. However, we thought we'd only be here for 3 years. And so we made our choices based on that, right? Like there are things that maybe I would have done differently. We have a sunroom, and the kitchen's a little bit smaller than I would have liked. Here we are 7 years later, 5 years later, sorry. And Spencer's getting retired in the next couple of years. And so he doesn't think the Army will move us. So we're going to end up being in this house for 7 years. What if I had enclosed that sunroom when we first moved in? But I didn't, because I was waiting. Well, this isn't my forever home. We're only going to be here for a couple of years. It won't matter. But if I could go back, maybe I would do it differently. Maybe I wouldn't. And it doesn't really matter. But in that moment, I wasn't living my life to my fullest. I was living in the what if. Well, what if we're just moving? The next house will be better. I'll think about these things in the next house, in my forever home. This is just a stopping spot along the way. But I don't want to play the what if game, so I'm going to focus on how do I want to show up here? How do I want to love this house for the next 2.5 years that we're in it? Because I've learned if I'm going to spend money on my house, I'm going to spend money as if it's my forever home. And I can do, maybe you don't want to do that if you're only at a place for 6 months or a year, but you know what you do want to do? You want to make that house a home. You want it to be a sanctuary for you when you come home from a long day, when your husband comes home. Learn to love the house you're in and make it a home, and you'll be so glad that you did. I was talking with a friend about this podcast, and she was sharing how her sister does that. The first thing that she unpacks in any home they move to is she puts up her wall of pictures, because that to her makes it feel like a home. What to you makes your house feel like a home? What is one thing that you want to put out that's just for you? For those of you who can see back here, I have my flowers and I love them. And every time I think of them, they're in my office and they just make me think of my friend. Her and I did them together for for a birthday present. And not only do I get to think about her and connect with her, but they just make me happy because they're so pretty. And I do put up pictures. I love, like I said earlier, I love pictures. Pictures are one of the first things that go up in my house. So make your house a home. Live in it fully. Don't wait for the next duty station. Don't wait for the better house to come along. Just love where you're at. Now, I know we've talked about weight loss and we've talked about deployments and loving our house, and there's a season, right? And a time for everything that we do. There's a time for people to go to school. There's a time to have toddlers, or maybe you're going to do both, and that's great. But there's a time and a season for everything that we do and in life. Maybe your kids are getting ready to move out or to start school. And so you're going to show up differently and do things differently in each season. And we might tell ourselves that our life is busy. Let me tell you a secret. Your life is not busy. You are making your life busy with what you think. And you might want to argue with me, well, we have all these things. And that's totally okay. But I promise you, when you're thinking, but I have dance and gymnastics and I work and I go to school and my husband's deployed or my husband's gone to this training and my life is just so busy, guess what? You're making it even more busy with the thoughts you're thinking. So you get to choose. Is your life busy or not? Do you want to do those things or not? That's all your choice. Guess what? You can do all the things or none of them, and you can love your life. Now, my dear sweet military wives, I want you to stop waiting to live your lives. I want you to stop waiting for your husband. I want you to stop waiting for your husband to appreciate you, for others to appreciate you, your children to appreciate you. I know that was a big one for me. I wanted my children to appreciate me and my husband, right? But when I learned to stop waiting on them and learn to just appreciate myself, you have to appreciate you. It doesn't matter how much anybody else appreciates you if you don't appreciate you. Notice the things that you do that are amazing. All of the ways that you are amazing. Notice all the ways that you get what you want out of life. You can achieve anything you want. I totally believe in you. And if you need help believing in you, let me know. That's what I'm here for. So I want to leave you with this. What can you enjoy about your life today? Your children, your house, your job, your duty station, your neighbors. Find a way to love your life, to live your life today, to be present. Just pick one thing. What's one way you can be more present? Maybe it's turning off your cell phone when you're talking to your children and just focusing on them. Maybe it's throwing a birthday party for your kids instead of worrying about the fact that your husband's deployed and he's missing out. You might have that thought like, I wish he was here. And you're like, I know, but right now I'm going to totally focus on this kid and I'm going to be present. Maybe it's going back to school and doing something just for you. Maybe it's going and getting a massage or taking a hot bath, whatever it is. What can you do today to be more present, to live your life? Let me know how it goes. As always, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Maria Strange Coaching. If you're enjoying this podcast, please leave me a review, share it with others. I'm offering free 60-minute consults, so send me a message, sign up. I would love to help you live your perfectly imperfect life, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.